me take you off of my other call. Hold on.
What's it gonna be? How you gonna be? Who you gonna be? What's it gonna be? How you gonna be? Who you gonna be? What's it gonna be? How you gonna be? Who you gonna be? What's it gonna be? How you gonna be? Who you gonna be? There are 13 energy centers in and outside of your body, below your feet and above your head. They're called your chakras. Your chakras govern your reality. They make your life happen. They're fueled by your subconscious thoughts, your life force, your action, sexual energy that exists in all of us, creating from the vibration that flows within us. Constant, consistent creation, directed by the choices that we make. You have the right to be who you're supposed to be, so what's it gonna be? You are the master of your vibration. Feed your mind for elevation. There is no time for contemplation. The time is now. So what's it gonna be?
We give thanks for this divine space and time. We give thanks for this moment. We give thanks for this breath. We give thanks for life. We give thanks for the path and the journey. We give thanks for strength. We give thanks for everything and everything that is. We give thanks for the all. May we continue to sit in
We're back live. Pardon us for the interruption. We're having some technical difficulties. iMinista OjYemi, are you with me? Mm-hmm. iMinista ready? Are you on the line?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna work on getting iMinista OjYemi on the line, so you could please continue and just pardon the background.
Okay. Thank you for joining us this evening, the grand rising of the Matriarch. We give thanks for this time and space.
Everything happens for a reason. Thank you all so much for your patience with our technical difficulties. I believe we have iMinster OjYemi on the line again with us.
Greetings.
Greetings. Okay. I yield the floor.
Thank you for this space this evening. We give thanks for this opportunity to be of service and speak about the grand rising of the Matriarch. We are grateful for all things. We give thanks for all things. May we continue to sit in the seat of gratitude regardless of any circumstance or situation. Again, we thank you for being with us here tonight. The grand rising of the Matriarch. When I think about the grand rising, I think about something coming up out of something coming from darkness to light, something coming from nothing to something. Think about something growing out of the soil and coming up into the sun, using that energy to grow and rise. I am iMinista ready. I am here with iMinster OjYemi, and we would like to share with you conversations in regards to women and who we are, what our value is, and how to tap into that. When we think about the value of the woman, we can see that there has been a decline when we look into the mainstream industry and see how women are carrying themselves, and it would seem obvious that they don't have a certain type of value for themselves, for them to carry themselves in a certain type of way. And maybe there is not an understanding of what value is as a woman, what it is to be valuable, or what the value is of a woman. Maybe that hasn't been taught, and that is misunderstood. What do you think about that? Yeah, OjYemi.
Not even mainstream, because Malcolm X made a statement. And his statement was the most disrespected, unprotected person on the planet is a black womb man. So this has been since the fall of the great matriarch. The womb has been suppressed and oppressed.
Mm-hmm.
The energy that's being restored to the planet is the womb energy. So if we go back, I shared a movie that Eyes was watching God. And I don't know, there is a book by Nora Zeal Thurston. I think it's Neil Thurston. And in the book, this sister married this older man, and he helped build this town. And once they had put the town in order, they was having a celebration. And one of the people in the town asked her to speak. He said, "Oh, she don't do that. She don't know nothing about that." And it just broke her spirit. So we have been tried on, trampled on, not only in the Patriarch Society, but we also do it to ourselves. We do it to each other. Truly, understanding our value and our worth starts back in the womb, in our mother's womb. But it goes back to our grandmother, our great-grandmother, our great-great-grand. It goes all the way back. So we have to uncover layers and layers and layers of, how should I say, programming to see our true worth. Not allow other people to determine our value, not allow other people to tell us who we are, but to see it for ourselves.
That makes a lot of sense. So when you say speak of peeling the layers and knowing our value through our mothers and grandmothers, what about those of us mothers and grandmothers who themselves didn't understand their value? How did that come through through the womb to feel that?
Well, they have something called where you can return back to the womb. I don't know the proper name of it, but you can go back into the amniotic sac. You can go back to your mother's womb. And I just say that the mothers did the best they could with what they had. That's what I always say. And my mother knew her value, but she just didn't know the full extent of her value. So she wasn't able to give it to me. But regardless of that, I found it. And I still daily work with that. I still daily value myself and honor myself. We could truly say, no, our mothers didn't know their value, but it's the how should I say, the energy that's being brought to the planet now, it's giving us the opportunity to value ourselves if we choose to. But everything is based on a choice. And I always say, when you are ready to shift energy, there's going to be something that appears. Someone, a book, or something is going to come to you. What's that saying? When the student is ready, the teacher appears. Mm-hmm. When you're ready for the shift to take place, somebody's going to come to you and give you the necessary medicine, the words of inspiration, the words of encouragement, or to guide you, to find you. You know, no longer on the podcast when we did Woosah Wednesday, and we talked about how things were. There was no internet. There was no really way for a sister to truly find herself. She just had to dig and, you know, had to. That's a tribe of us now. There are some sisters who know the work. There are some sisters who know their value. There are some sisters who are starting circles with just that information, that wisdom. But just because your mother didn't know her value or your grandmother didn't know her value, there's still some things in their bloodline. There were some gifts in their bloodline. There was some value in their bloodline. And if you can go and hone into that value or those gifts, and you can resurrect everything else that you need.
Yes, We have iMinster SCG 13 wants to add something. Please come forward. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. When it comes to our mothers and our grandmothers, what's happening now with the grand rising of the matriarch is that we that are healing ourselves are able to go back and heal our mothers and our grandmothers. Those of us that are rising to the call right now have a specific duty to be able to do that for those who couldn't. And this is something that was revealed to me through the work that I'm doing with my own mother. My own mother is in a position where she can't, okay? So I must, for her mother, for her mother's mother, and because I can, I will. And when we get that inspiration to do that, it's just something that's going to happen, because I did not think that it would be me doing this like this for my family. And it wasn't until the beginning of this podcast that I started going on this particular journey with my mother and her mother and her mother and her mother. I yield.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us.
You're welcome.
And that pretty much answers the question. Adding on to what iMinista OjYemi was saying, that it doesn't matter if the mother or grandmothers or the women in that family line didn't know who they were exactly or understand their value. It's still something that can be healed through just that one generation, just pausing and sitting within that and putting intentions of healing towards that, and it actually going back within the bloodline and healing the entire family. That is very powerful. That is very powerful. And I just want to make it clear that when we're speaking of value, there's a lot of conversations that go on about high value men and high value women. When we're speaking of value, iMinista, we're not talking about what you have or what you wear or where you live at and what you drive. We're not talking about that surface value, right?
No. I'm talking value as your character, your morality, how you see yourself, how you view yourself. What do you think about yourself? What do you feel about yourself? The everyday compass. Or as iMinista SCG 13 says, I choose to take the responsibility to heal my bloodline. I chose that responsibility, but I also, and to break those generational curses, but there's also the value in my bloodline, the value of exactly what my bloodline come to do. There's value in every bloodline. Every bloodline has a gift. Every bloodline has something to share and give. Do we know what's in our bloodline? Sure, we can see the generational curses and we can see, but there's some other value in that bloodline. And maybe we might have to dig a little deeper. Maybe we have to go to it's spelled Griot, the Gra. I think it's pronounced the Gra, the storyteller, the one that knows our story, that knows the history, her story of the bloodline. And finding that and lifting it up and raising it up and using it as our base for our value.
Mm-hmm.
If your mother was a great cook, then you have the same great potential to be a great cook. If you practice, if you were in the kitchen with your mother, then if you had that opportunity to cook, then you got to be a great cook. If your mother was a musician, and if you practice, you're going to have the same value, the same gift, if you practice. But if it has not been practiced, then that's a gift that's laying dormant.
So basically, a great place to find our gifts and even maybe our purpose is to look back into what our ancestors were doing with us. And not only with us, but what they were like, what they were known for, what they were good at.
Yes, when you call upon your
that's in the bloodline. That's like the Ashe.
Yes. If you had a big mama, big mama, mother that could cook, and you call her and she's in the ancestral realm, and you didn't know how to fix that dish, I can guarantee you, if you call upon her, she'll give you the necessary tools to fix that dish. I have a sister friend, and she makes copper pyramid, and her father was a plumber, and she wanted to know how to make the pyramid. She called upon his Ashe, and he told her how to get the copper and all that to make the pyramid.
Wow.
So if you had an answer, if your mother was good at, how should I say, with currency, why wouldn't you call upon her to assist you with how to use currency if she's in the ancestral realm? If your grandmother, whoever is in that realm that was, should I say, knew how to, was a master or whatever, call on that Ashe. So often we're told to go in there, to heal the bloodline, but there's some healing that has always been placed in that bloodline that has some value. We pick that value up and we use that value. It enhances what we have.
That makes a lot of sense. And you're absolutely right. We hear for the most part that we need to be clearing out generational curses, and that the black sheep of the family is the one that's going to come through and shift everything and change everything out. But we seldom hear about, okay, but this is what your ancestors left you, and this is actually what you need to, this is what is available for you to tap into, which is further assisting in clearing up and reversing any trauma within the bloodline, because you're adding on to you're pulling more from the good part. Your focus is on what was left for you, opposed to what was the detriment in the family line.
Well, I still say that we come to heal those parts that need to be broke so they won't come into future generations, but also pick up the value of the bloodline and use that also to enhance and to build your Ashe. Every bloodline has a value. Every bloodline has a generational curse. There's somebody that did something. But we come from the root. Our people work the roots. There was no medicine for us, so how was we healed? We used the roots. We used the herbs. We used the earth. We used nature. We had the gift of sight. We could hear. We were in tune. We had a rhythm. So how could that possibly be lost? We could cook and sing and dance. We had all of that.
It's there in the bloodline. waiting to be activated, waiting to be called upon.
Well, it's already in you. You just got to go. You have to know what it is.
Right. So it's something that's already in me that I may have, that I've actually inherited, and I'm trying to pull that out of me or push that towards the surface for me to have access to. Is there a way that I call that within myself, or would I be, would I sit and, I guess I would be sitting with my ancestors and they would be helping me get clarity on that? Like you had the two examples that you just gave?
Yes, or unless you have someone in your bloodline who knows the family's story, knows her story, knows from generation to generation and has carried that story over. In the Native American culture, they're called, in the African culture, they're called the Grot. In the Native American, they're called the storytellers. They're the keepers of the stories. So if there's no one in your generation who's kept the stories, that means that you have to go back to that ancestral bloodline. But if your mother is still alive, ask her. If go back as far as you can go with the stories, and then come to the ancestral line. But you can ask. You can just pay attention to yourself. You can see certain things that where'd this come from? That's why it's important to keep our stories alive. It's important to know our stories and to know our bloodline. I don't buy into mainstream. I don't buy into the black sheep, but I just don't buy into all of that because that's somebody. Why somebody got to be a black sheep? I don't have anything with the word, but everybody chooses in this incarnation to be whatever you come to be. It doesn't make you be the outcast. It's just, once again, see, in the black community, we always give a thing a judgment call or a name. You chose to be the one to assist your bloodline. You chose to be the one to come forth in this incarnation to raise up your spiritual self, to recognize the divinity within yourself, the sacredness of self, so you can recognize it in others, and you can help, and if you choose to help usher in this golden age of the grand rising of the Matriarch.
I say, yes. Gold dust everywhere. I read that somewhere. that the universe, everything is made. Yes.
Golden. We're golden liquid.
Golden liquid. As you said, golden liquid, I just in my head, I'm just forming the gold in my mind in different objects and symbols.
And when I look at people, I don't see the bodies. I see golden liquid. I don't even have a picture out there of myself because I want to see people in their true essence. So when I see somebody, I see them as golden liquid. I see the divinity. I see the sacredness. I don't see them because if I see a picture, then that becomes the image of you that I see. I don't want to see that. I want to see you as you truly are. No matter what you're projecting.
Right, because that can always be changed.
In the blinking of an eye. I also share something my sister shared with me. Oh, go ahead.
Yes, go ahead. No, it's probably tying in. I wanted to talk about the power of the woman, and I know you're probably going to reveal that in what you're about to say.
Well, I was just scared to bring that in. My sister shared with me about the mitochondria, the DNA of the mitochondria. and how the mitochondria of the melanated womb man holds every race of beings in her womb, in her mitochondria, in her DNA.
That's very interesting. Every race. So we were
every race.
Everything.
Yes. So they call it the mitochondria of Eve, because, once again, they can only take it back so far, and they really don't want to take it back as far as we go. But it is known, it has been shared in National Geographic about the mitochondria, how deep the mitochondria is for the melanated system. It goes all the way back. So when Mama Zagbe and Dr. Suzar and other sisters have told us about who we are, the power that we possess inside, that's where it's coming from, the mitochondria.
So when we look at these, these are this. When we look at other people, we can honestly say like they're our creation.
Yes, they are our creations. And so, do you think? Yes, they want you to know how powerful you are. Do you think? Everything starts with us. Everything. We birth nations.
That's power.
We don't know.
That's where the power.
That's powerful.
Nation.
Did you see the movie Henrietta Lacks that Oprah Winfrey brought forth, and about how they used her? She was giving birth and she made a transition, and how they kept her cells and all that, and used all that to heal other people.
Yes, I heard about that.
There's power in the mitochondria. Why do you think so many sisters are coming up missing? So many sisters don't make it through childbirth. There's a reason for all of that. But through the matriarch, through the mothers, we could stop anything. We talked about SEG 13 talked about, picking up, being fighting, and we don't have to be the warrior. You don't need a gun anymore. No, baby. We could all get together collectively, 2 or 3 of us. We could shift any energy on this planet. We are unstoppable. We are unmovable. There's nothing that can move through us. We are impenetrable.
Right.
And that's a known fact.
That's why there's been so much done to try to cover those facts, hide those facts, erase those facts. Because if you don't, that's like how even in certain movies, they will show you somebody having a superpower, and when they're unaware of it, it's like uncontrollable. They don't have a sense of controlling it because they're not even aware of how powerful they are, and that reflects back to where we are. We just don't have this deep understanding of how powerful we are, even though we have a knowledgeable understanding, right? We hear and we know and the facts that have been uncovered, and we are proud in a sense of these things that are being uncovered about who we are, but there's still this underlying programming, if you will. There's still this underlying trauma that has to be healed so that we can so that power can be actualized, as like you're saying, us knowing that we can come together and shift things, and coming together and doing that and having those times where we're coming together with that focus and knowing that we can do that. That is very powerful.
And a lot of sisters are doing this medicine. But I just tell sisters, when you're going through and you come to your sister friend, or you come to your sister girl, your sister circles, and you sit and you words sound it out, and then you release it. That right there shows you the power of who we are, how we can heal each other, how we can embrace each other, how we can just hold space for ourselves and each other. That's the power. That's the magic of who we is. But if you don't know yourself, and if you don't know the purpose and the destiny, then, but there are sisters who know purpose and destiny. There are sisters who's doing this medicine. And a lot of them aren't, there are a lot of unsung heroes out here, but we're looking for the heroes to be known. But we don't deal with the sister that's unknown, who's got the magic. We want the one to tell us, I'll do it for you. No. No one can do this for you but yourself. No one can do the work for you. You have to do it yourself. And that's the determinant for a lot of us. Doing it. Being consistent, tenacity, the courage and the strength and the wisdom. You keep hearing people say, healing ain't pretty. You got to go through pain. That's a choice. Now, am I going to say everything is going to be smooth sailing? I didn't say that, but it's a choice how you choose to go through. Me personally, I choose how I go through my stuff. Now, just because there's the hunkers and the conkers in my bloodline don't mean that I got to accept the hunkers and the conkers and the punkers. I'm not going to accept the hunkers and the conkers or the punkers. And just because, according to the metaphysical thing, they have a thing that's called race consciousness. So in race consciousness, because the world feels a certain way and there's some fear in the world right now and people are distracted, I don't have to participate in that. They don't have to come down near me. I can choose to accept that fear. I can choose to accept that energy, but I can say, you know what? Cut the cord to attachment to that. I'm going to send love on this, but I'm not going to participate in that fear. I don't have to allow that energy to shift my world. That's the alchemist. That's what we're here for. So we won't get caught up into other people's energy. When you talk about respect, and I told you I took you into my meditation, it says remembering and realizing energetic seeds planted, evolve into conscious thought. What are we doing energetically? It's planting seeds. And they're evolving to a conscious thought. You were born great. iMinster Ready Sakira. You were born great. It's up to you how you choose to use their greatness.
That's a very important part, and you're absolutely correct. That's not something that somebody can do for you. That is something that you have to choose to do. And it's also, I think, an important part to reflect on is the choice of how you go through. Anything that you feel is a choice. It's a choice. And some things can be in a pattern or a repeat, if you will, but that still is a choice. And that choice can be changed through intention. And having a space is very important. As you mentioned, having a space where you can speak without judgment and release. So for the purpose of releasing, like we have Wusa every day, whether it's Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, whichever day it is, we have this space where we can speak about things that we are going through in order to release that and understand the power that we have in the choice. There's so much power in the choice and how we choose to navigate through our stuff, our creation. As you always say, we are the creator of our creation. So with you being the creator, that gives you the power to assign roles or not assign roles. Like you said, give attention to what you choose to give attention to or not give attention to it, because they call it paying attention. So if you're paying attention into something, there's something that you're going to be receiving for that, because it's something that you paid for. You paid your attention to that. So there is an energetic flowing that is happening when we are thinking about something and, again, making this choice of how we're going to feel about it at any given moment. And that is definitely powerful. And
you just said, go ahead. I'll talk after you finish.
I was just going to add, it takes a place of being vulnerable to express what it is that you are trying to release, or what it is that you may be going through, period. That vulnerability, not to have the skeletons in the closet, and just being real with what you have going on, because if you're not real about what you have going on with yourself, you can't really get any real assistance or help in that matter, because you haven't even kept it real with yourself in regards to your creation.
You said an operative word, paying attention. So often we go through life not guarding our thoughts, not guarding our words, not guarding our actions, not guarding our reactions and our deeds. You have to monitor. You have to pay attention to what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you're saying, and how you're doing it, because that creates. If you just out here thinking willy-nilly, then you're going to have all kind of willy-nillyness. If you out here feeling all kind of things, guess where it's going to show up? It's going to show up exactly in your everyday life. So I tell people, you don't have to say what you're doing, because your life is going to speak for you. It's going to speak what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you're saying, what you're doing, and how you're doing it. So it's very imperative. Forgive me. I can't tell anybody what to do. I can only inspire. But for me, it was imperative that I monitor and pay attention to every thought, every word, every action, every feeling, every deed, and every reaction. And I have to do this every day, all day. And if you notice, I'm consistently sending things out. Like the other day, I was falling in love with myself. So I'm all into love songs because I'm falling in love with me.
Yeah.
So whatever I'm feeling, I'm going to send it out. That's another way of how I serve. I can't reach a lot of people. I can't speak to a lot of people, but I can send something. And maybe that's something that I say will touch somebody. Mahalia Jackson sings a song, if I touch one soul, then my living has not been in vain. I can't touch everybody, but for one soul. If I can inspire one soul, then my living has not been in vain. But we so often, we don't pay attention. And when your mind is racing all over the place and you all over the place with your mind and whatever's going on with you, that's when you have to really be still and come inward, because you're outward. And it's easy to get caught up into what's going on around you. My sister gets so mad at me because when she asks, how you doing? I'm thankful, I'm grateful. How was your day? Thankful and grateful. And she says, really? That's how I was? Yes. I have no complaints. I mean, the little bitty things, those are minute and minor. But if I sit in the seat of gratitude and thankfulness and gracefulness, that's going to build. And if I give thanks for all things, whatever comes, it's going to come, but I'm going to still sit in the seat of gratitude, of thankfulness, and gracefulness, so it won't bowl me over. I'll look at it, and I'm thankful, grateful. Once again, I'm the creator that's creating my creations. Nothing is coming to me. It's coming because of me.
That takes a level of accountability there.
I didn't always have this.
I am the creator, created my creation.
Right. I didn't always have this, but I had a teacher who instilled in me. She invested in me. She instilled the responsibility of taking accountability. She has a mission statement, creating one sacred space, one person at a time. I didn't know what that meant. We were sitting, she would always have new moon celebrations. She's Native American. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, the light bulb comes on. I was like, oh, Billy, I know what that means now. I'm the sacred space.
Right.
So she said she's creating a sacred space. I'm the sacred space that she's creating.
It's you.
And once I realized, thank you. So once I realized that, Queen of Four, sacred woman. So they're saying it, but being able to, as you say, intuitively understand what the word sounds are. There's nothing sacred but me. And if I'm sacred, everything around me is sacred because of my vision. I have a purpose and a destiny. But I also have a vision of SCG 13, Master Lion Vibration 13. I can share, I can come to help inspire and build that vision. Doesn't mean it's going to take away from my purpose and my destiny. It enhances my purpose and my destiny. I can help hold the vision of the Master Liar.
Yes, there is definitely truth in that. It is well known that when you assist someone in holding a vision, it assists you in actualizing your own vision. And that is a very important part in coming together and holding the vision while remaining true to your own journey and path. Wow. We're so grateful for this opportunity to come together and speak, word sound, if you will. We spoke about having a space where people can come, which we have developed that, and it has indeed been beneficial for us. And we have opened this sacred space for others to come and woosah with us. And the space is only $20, and you actually have the opportunity to receive intuitive guidance from our self-healing practitioners, and you have the opportunity to release through word sound whatever it is that you may be going through and need assistance with, or just need a safe space to release, to woosah. And to hold your spot, you can just connect with us on www.mastervibration13.com. You can also hold your spot by sending the $20 to SEG13 Love via Cash App. But I would love for everyone to go to our website and look into our vision. We also have a raffle going on to win some of our orgone energy batteries as well as services from our self-practitioners in iMinista. We are grateful to be able to offer that. It's very fun. We have one of our iMinisters, well, a couple of our iMinisters that are currently on tour, going out and spreading the vision with others and finding those who can assist us and those who are looking for us to assist them as well. So if you want to get your raffle ticket, it's only $5. You can also send that to SEG13 Love, as well as going on our website and clicking the link there. We want to shout out all of our iMinisters. We give thanks. We give thanks. We give thanks. We want to send love to all of those who are listening to this. We give thanks. We give thanks. We give thanks. Sending love to all of those worldwide who have their hearts open to receive. May this word sound, vibration, reach its highest level of frequency so that it can reach them wherever they may be, wherever you are. Know that you are powerful, and you are valuable, and you are loved. Let's continue to remind ourselves that we are loved and that we have the power in our bloodlines hold ancestral gifts that we all have to tap into. It is our birthright. It is our birthright to utilize that which we have for the highest good of ourselves and the uplifting of humanity. Thank you to iMinista SEG13 for producing our service this evening. Shout out to iMinista Solutions. We thank you for having you here with us. iMinista Solutions is our rock. He is our financial strategist. He is our pugilist instructor, self-defense instructor. He is also a superstar in the industry as far as sports goes, and we have some very exciting things coming up with that. Anything else you want to take us out with, iMinista EI?
Knowing that we are the ones that we've been waiting for. Knowing that the grand rising of the Matriarch is us. It's us. We've been here since the beginning of creation. And we'll continue to be here. Nothing and no one can stop or deter us. It's up to us. So I give thanks for the frequency, for everybody tuning in. I give thanks. I thank iMinista SEG13. You're my rock. You're my sister. You're my everything. I thank iMinista Solution for being your rock and being our rock. I thank you, iMinista. Ready? I couldn't do this without you. So thank you for being in my life, on my journey, in my path.
Thank you.
Every tune that comes through me brings balance to my being. I have the power to change.
Wholeness.